guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Morgan and today I'm going to be doing a what I read in April video. Oh wait, my sister needs to call me. Hold on.
Morgan.
What?
I was just sitting here. Like something felt weird. Oh my gosh, Morgan. Morgan, you're gonna die. Another toenail.
What is wrong with your
Morgan,
feet?
that's just like sitting here. I didn't even do anything this time.
Did you cut your toenails?
I cut them like over a week ago. Or no, I cut them the day that one broke. I don't even know how I felt it. Like I was just moving my feet and something felt weird. And I went to feel it and it literally was like half off.
Which one?
Morgan, this is the one that I thought might have fallen off a while ago, and then this one just fell off.
Why are they just falling
so
off? Alright, goodbye. I'm filming. Anyway, my sister's toenails keep falling off. As I was saying, I'm going to be doing an April 2024 reading wrap-up. So, I really did not read many books I read a lot of books. I don't know what I'm saying. I read 8 books, which is a lot, but compared to other months, it was a very slow reading month. There were a couple books that were just really not it, and I was just like very busy in April in general, so I was just not in like a reading mood, and I was in a pretty big reading slump during this month. But I did read some good books. There were some 5 stars actually, but there were also some very low stars, so let's just get right into it. First book I read was Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. I actually gave this book a 2 out of 5 stars, which is way lower than I thought. Like I was expecting to absolutely love that book. Like I thought it was gonna be so good. I heard so many good things. Not that it was bad, but I don't know, something I didn't like the main male character at all. It was about Naomi. She had just run away from her wedding and she goes to like help her twin sister in this town called Knockemout, which I also don't even know what kind of name that is for a town, like Knockemout. Sorry, I just don't know what that means. Like that's the weirdest name for a town I've ever heard, but okay. It's in Virginia. And so she was going to help her sister, who is very like rough around the edges and evil. So yeah, her twin sister's name is Tina. Tina ends up like taking her car and like robs her, takes her money and stuff. And so this guy Knox helps out Naomi and like offers her a place to stay, helps her out, and offers her a job and like all this stuff. I don't know. Like Knox, at first, I was like, oh, he seems like he was kind of giving like Luke from Gilmore Girls vibes almost. But then things just started getting really like cringy to me. Like I was just like cringing. And I hate in books when there's 2 brothers fighting over a girl. Ugh. I hate it so much. I don't know, like it just is like, I feel like that's so unrealistic. Like in real life, if my sister and I both like the same guy, we would just both like, that would be like, no, it's fine if we both like the person, like, oh, we have a little crush, but like if you're both actively like seeking out this person, that's like so awkward to me. Like I would never do that ever, like fighting over a guy. No, I'm sorry, I hate that. That whole trope is just icky and not it. So I didn't like that. And it wasn't my favorite. Like I really just didn't enjoy it that much. The next book I read was Us Against You by Frederick Backman, and I gave this book 5 stars. Oh my gosh, I love this series. It's like the Beartown series, and Beartown's like the first book. It's like, these books are so cute. I love them. They're basically about this like hockey town, and there's like this like rival town, and there's like this big championship and all this stuff going on. The first book, there's like a whole like so much drama, but like I just love the way it's written, and like I don't know, like these books have such like good like inspirational things happening. I don't know, they're just so cute. I love the characters. Like I love the team aspect because it's like the whole hockey team, like they're all like ride or die. They all are just like have this amazing bond, and like the community is just so like, oh, I love it. I don't like talking about like the second book to series because I don't want to spoil anything, but basically that's kind of what like Beartown's about. It's like just like a hockey community and like all the stuff that goes on, and it's just so good. Like these 2 books were amazing, and there's some like bits of romance, and like all I'm gonna say is I love Benji. Like he is my favorite character just in both books. I love him, so highly recommend. Next book I read was Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. It's another 5-star book, actually. I feel like I had some good reads in the beginning of April, and then the middle was like bad, and then the end was like good again. But this was actually my book club book. I have a book club at my school that I started with a couple friends. We chose Eleanor and Park, and oh my gosh, it was so adorable. It's about Eleanor and Park, and they both attend high school together, and they're forced to sit next to each other on the bus because there's no other seats left when Eleanor gets on the bus, so she just like sits next to Park, and they get off to a not so great start, but then slowly they get to know each other. They start like sharing comics, and like they share their love of music, and then they just like get a lot closer, and it's just such a cute book. It's so wholesome, and like it's giving just like first love vibes, which I've never been in love, so I don't know what that's like, but like I don't know, it just was so cute. And it felt like they were like, it was like them against the world, and they were like trying so many new things. Like they were very different from the rest of the people that they attended high school with, but they like embraced that, and I just loved it. It was so cute. Next book I read was Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins. This is the third and final book. Well, it's like the third and final book in the Hunger Games series, but I am gonna read Ballad of Songbird one. I think that's like technically like the first one, but it was written last, but it's like takes place before all the other ones. So Mockingjay is technically the last one, but like the other one was written after. It's kind of confusing, but this is technically like the last, I don't know. It's like the last one, whatever. I give this one a 3 out of 5 stars. It was my least favorite of the series so far. I definitely preferred the first 2 books. If you don't know what the Hunger Games is, I feel like everyone knows. There's basically a bunch of districts, and then 2 people from each district get sent into this arena, and they like fight to the death, and only one person can like remain at the end. It's like the Hunger Games. Yeah, this was the 3rd book. It was very good. Again, I don't like talking about like the 3rd book to series, or like the 2nd or 3rd or whatever, so I'm not gonna really say what it's about, but it wasn't my favorite, but it was still decent. Like, it was good. I just like the whole series overall, but that was definitely not my favorite one in the series. Next book I read, The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I feel like this book goes like either way. You either love it or you hate it. I feel like, I don't know. I mean, maybe there's like an in-between, but I feel like most people either love it or hate it. I personally, I didn't hate it, but I definitely didn't love it. No, I kind of didn't like it at all though. Like, it was just like very boring and like dragged out, in my opinion. It's about a group of students at this elite college who are studying Greek with their charismatic professor. That's what it says on Goodreads. And the professor kind of like inspires them to try this new way of life and this new like ritual thing, and then it's like, I don't know, it leads them to corruption, and then it's like this whole mess. It's like definitely interesting. Like, I liked some of the characters. Like, I definitely liked the characters at times. Like, not liked what they were doing, but like I enjoyed reading about them. But overall, it was not worth my time. Like, it's a very long book. It's like 600 pages, I think, and it was just not, it wasn't worth it to me. I didn't love it. I don't know. I mean, that doesn't mean you won't love it, because I feel like some people really do love it. It just wasn't for me. So, like I said, the middle of April, we were not in some good books. So next book I read was The Heaven and Earth Grocery Store by James McBride. Another 2 out of 5 stars. And I just want to say, like, I feel bad saying like a 2 out of 5 stars for this book, because I know there's so much like history behind it, and like definitely like important topics that need to be like talked about, but I just didn't like the writing itself. Like, I didn't love the way the story was written. I think there was like important things that get talked about, kind of like the foundations of this town, Chicken Hill, it's called, this neighborhood where immigrant Jews and African Americans like lived together, and they like shared their ambitions and everything. And I think that's like very like important and everything. Like, that was very, like, it's an amazing thing. But I just didn't love, I don't know, the story itself. There was way too many characters. Like I feel like every second there was like a new character. Like, there were so many people to follow, and I was just like really lost with that. I mean, I sort of understood who everyone was, but like, I feel like when there's too many people, you can't really get to know anyone enough, if that makes any sense, to like actually form a connection to them when there's like too many people, you know what I mean? It was like fine, but like again, not the best. But there's some good like plot points and stuff, like interesting things that happen. But overall, there was just too many plots, too many characters, too many subplots. I couldn't keep track. So unfortunately, it was a 2 out of 5. Next book I read was Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I gave this book 4 to 5 stars. This book was so good. Oh my gosh, it was really, really good. It's very thrilling, very entertaining. I feel like this is the book that kind of like helped get me out of the slump from those last 2 books. It's about Kaz Brecker, who is offered this large reward, but there's a very dangerous price to pay to get the reward. And he can't do it alone, so he gathers his group of 6 other people, I think, or 5 other people. Yeah, 5 other people, because there's 6 in total. And they help him with this impossible task. The people in this book, I loved everyone, like all the characters, which I feel like there's always a character I hate in like some of these books, but in this book, like I loved, actually, no, I take that back. I did not like Kaz. I feel like that's crazy to say. I don't like him. Like, I don't know. He's like, I don't like him. Should I say who I ship? I don't want to spoil anything. I mean, nobody ends up dating, but I personally am a huge Matthias. I don't know if that's even how you say it. Matthias and Nina fan. Right here, big fan, big fan. I also love Jesper. And I love Wylan, or whatever his name is. Yeah, this book was really good. Very, very good thriller, fantasy, very good. And it wasn't too hard to follow, which is nice. It was a little confusing, but like not too crazy. And there's also a show of it on Netflix, like based on it. It's called Shadow and Bone. I really want to watch that. I'm actually reading the second book right now. Last book I read in April was Everything is Fine by Vince Granada. And this was another 5-star read. I don't know why I said another, because the last one was not a 5-star read, but like another, there were some other 5 stars. This book was so good. Like, it's a memoir written by the brother of Tim Granada, and Tim actually killed his mother, who is also Vince Granada's mother, because he's struggling with schizophrenia. This book was it was very heartbreaking and very difficult to read. But it was so beautifully written and so inspiring, and just like, I feel like the message could help so many people. Like, I feel like knowing about Tim's story could really help other people in the future to like understand what someone with schizophrenia is kind of like going through. I mean, obviously Vince himself doesn't have schizophrenia, but he kind of got to see like the way his brother acted and kind of like signs that might indicate, you know, that someone else with schizophrenia may, you know, start going in a certain direction. It definitely shows how complex mental illnesses can be and how difficult it can be to like navigate them. The story is very, very eye-opening, very informative, but very good, very well written. Highly, highly recommend. Yeah, that's everything I read in April. I feel like this is like a very short, quick video, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna try to do one of these every month. So thank you guys for watching. Comment down below what book out of all of the books I mentioned you would want to read the most. Or if you've read any of them, comment down below which ones. But thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, Girl Scouts.